you have technical issues and you have to work around them. So, yes, there I am. I can see your comments now. Awesome. Let me turn my volume off. You can hear me. Yes, I am off. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you all? Well, I turned that thing off. I put it on Do Not Disturb. Hello, hello, everybody. How are y'all? I hope you're having a great Tuesday. I am so glad to be here. I am Laurie Anne, one of the design coaches in Julie Samaco's Southern Charm Wreaths Wreath of the Month Club. And I am so glad to be here today. Julie has asked me to come on and do a wreath with you all, and I said absolutely. I like coming over here to YouTube and chatting with you all and maybe showing or teaching you something that can be very helpful so you can make your own beautiful creations. Okay. Yes, somebody has commented, "Hi, sweetie, how are you?" Thank you so much. Yes, good day. All right, so we're going to get started. Today we are going to do a holiday mesh wreath with a holly jolly sign in it. And I'm going to bring you down and show you some of the materials we're going to put in it, and we're going to get started. Now, first of all, I'm working on a 15-inch wreath work form. It has red twist ties to it, and that's what we're going to put our deco mesh in. But let me pull you down. I got a piece of pine straw in there. Okay, here we go. Let me pull you down real quick. Hi, Cheryl. How are you, honey? There we go. Let me tell you a little bit about my thinking, okay? Get some of this stuff out of the way. All right. Here is our holly jolly sign. It is really cute and adorable. The last couple of times I've been on here, we've done rustic, and I thought we would jump into a little bit of whimsical. Hi, everybody. Hi, Donna. Hi, Penny. Okay, so this is a 10-inch sign. It has glittered red in the stripes, in the peppermint or candy cane, whichever way you call it, stripes to it. And all the red is glittered. The jolly lettering is glittered as well. It is, there's not so much on it that you lose what it's saying. That's why I like it. I like signs that are simple and very easy to read because, you know, they're sitting on your door, and you certainly want your wreaths to pop off your door and have some really good curb appeal. So I like signs that don't have a whole lot of wording on it, okay? I'll show you one more time. I'm not sure if the lights can show you exactly how much glitter is on it, but it is full of glitter. So we have this sign. Now, I will say this, you know, Christmas has become a lot of different colors. We have pink Christmas, we have red and green traditional Christmas, we have blues and golds, just absolutely gorgeous colored Christmases. But one of the one of the standards, so to speak, is lime green and red. And when you coordinate lime green and red instead of traditional green and red, it becomes a little bit more whimsical. So that's why I also decided to do a whimsical theme today, because of the color of this sign. Okay, so I have some deco mesh to go with it. This is just 10-inch deco mesh. It coordinates with the lime green as well as the red. We're going to throw that in. I'm going to show you my ribbons that I have cut and gotten ready for us. So this ribbon right here is so adorable. So it's 2.5-inch felt. It has a furry white line that goes down the middle of it. When you fill it, you can't help but think about quote unquote Santa Claus, which I just love. But anyway, so we have this. It's a 2.5 inch, and I'm going to coordinate a lime green polka dot with it. That's going to bring in or pull in some of the whimsical feel. But I also have dots, kind of polka dots in the word jolly. And I wanted to kind of bring in that kind of theme to it. I wanted to pull a little bit of dot in. So these are what we're going to coordinate with one section. And then the other section, we're going to alternate these ribbons. I'm going to pull in the red and white diagonal stripe. This has glitter in it as well. So I definitely wanted to pull in this pattern. Okay, and then I love this ribbon right here. This is a 2.5 inch. This is a 1.5 inch. I'm not sure if you can see it very well. It has glitter and the lime green, but it also has one little thin stripe of dark green. And the reason why I did that is I have some dark green right up here, and I wanted to pull that in as well. So we have those as ribbons. I have a little bit of green pine that we're going to throw in here just to make it feel a little wintry. I have some white glitter that we're going to throw in. And the reason why I'm going with white glitter is I want to make sure I pull white out of the sign. Okay? And then depending on how it goes, I have some ornaments that we might throw in. I have some other options over here, and we'll just see where my creativity takes us. How about that? Hi, Mary and Nancy and Kim. Penny is in Montana watching. Okay, good. Now listen, if y'all have any questions as I go along, just let me know. I will try my best to answer them for you, okay? If I don't get to them during the live, I will certainly try to come back in and answer any that you may have. All right? So let me tell you how I have done the sign and done my attachments. There's several different ways that you can attach signs to your wreaths. This is the way that Julie with Southern Charms Wreath taught me. I have used this for many, many years. I took a little piece of cardboard. You just cut a little piece. I folded it over, took my wire, and I stapled it to the cardboard. And the reason why you do that is I want a little teeny tiny bit of cushion where the staples are going to go in, because I don't want my staples to go all the way through. Okay? I'm using 1/4 inch staples, and then I put a little teeny tiny bit of hot glue on each one of them. Can you see those? I just stapled it down twice, and I have put hot glue on top of it. So that's how I am going to attach my sign. Always works very well for me. So let's get started. Oh, I hope so, Janie. I hope it's going to be cute. Let's get this cut. How has everybody's day gone? I hope everybody has had a great day. Okay, I am going to cut right here. You always want to get a really smooth edge or straight edge started. So I'm just going to cut this very even. All right, here we go. Now I have come in and I have pulled my twist ties out. Okay, the top layer I always kind of stand up, and I'm going to tell you, girls and guys, my hands have gotten to, the top of my hands have gotten to the point where they are pretty tender. I've done this a lot, and I've learned over the years that I can poke myself as I'm going around. And so these days I try to protect the top of my hand, and that means that I always start on the outer ring. I always no, I'm sorry, I start on the top ring and always go down to the outer ring. That way I don't have these twist ties hitting the top of my hand, okay? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to pull some out. I'm going to fold down about 3 inches. Okay, I'm going to fold it just like this. See? And then I'm just going to gather it up. All right? And I'm going to pick whichever one I want to start with. I'm going to put it down in between the twist ties, and I'm going to twist it. Okay? Now I'm going to show you a little trick that I do, and let me see if I can get a, here they are. Sorry, I thought I had these out. This is what I do. This is not necessary. I like for the back of my wreaths to appear to be clean. I have a glass door that I put my wreaths on, and it is a glass storm door, and when I am looking out the door and there's a wreath on the outside of it, I can see the back of mine. So I always like the back of my wreaths to be as clean as possible, and I'm sure everybody else does too. But I take a twist tie. Let me pull you in a little bit. I take a twist tie, and I just take that twist tie and I just zip tie it down like that, and I cut the edge off, and it creates a very smooth edge to the back. Okay? All right, let's keep going. All right, so I'm going to do a poof method all the way around, and my poofs are going to be 10 inches. And when you're dealing with deco mesh and doing poofs, you really want to make sure that you get your poofs as even as possible. So this technique I measure. There are other techniques that I do with deco mesh that I do not measure, but this technique I do. All right, so I'm on the 11-inch mark. I'm going to come out here to 21 inches, and I want to make sure that my edges are tucked under so they don't open up and cause some fraying. With deco mesh, you're definitely going to have fraying. It doesn't matter what you do. There's always going to be a little bit of fraying. I just put it in the next one, twist, and make sure my poof, get that rolled up a little bit, is opened up. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm lifting it up and opening it up. Okay, again, on the 11-inch mark, I'm going to come out here to 21 inches, and I'm going to lay this down, and I'm twisting. Now, I usually twist about 2 times. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can twist once, but for me, I'm twisting 2 times. All right, going to measure out another 10 inches, open this up, lay it down, and twist. Let's see, Anna is asking, where are the supplies from? Honey, they are from several different places. I got them from all over. Deco mesh is fun to work with. I used to work with it a whole lot more than I do now. But just like with anything, interests change and you move on. But I will say for the holidays, deco mesh is still a big seller for people. There are all different kinds of methods that you can do with deco mesh. And you can incorporate them in all kinds of forms. I've even done them on grapevines before, or used it on grapevine before. So I'm just working my way around. And I'm getting ready to come to the end of the top ring, and I'm going to transition down to the bottom ring, and I'll show you how you can do that. All right, so here I am. I am at the beginning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 10 inches. And I'm going to come to this one where we started. I'm going to untwist it. I'm going to lay it down in there. I'm going to twist it back. And then I'm going to pull as tightly as I can. I don't have a death grip on it, but I'm going to pull as tightly as I can down to the bottom layer, or the outer ring. Okay, and I'm going to twist one time. You're kind of jumping down to the bottom, but keeping it going. All right. Still going around 10 inches. See, when I do the upper ring first, and then I do the bottom ring, it does not poke the top of my hands like if I did the bottom and then the top. It's really a personal preference. If you want to start at the top, you can. If you want to start at the bottom, you can. Either way. That is a little trick that I have learned. Hello, Brenda. Can you please tell me what the pressing machine thingy is that you use after cutting foliage? Are you talking about a still pick machine? Are you talking about this right here? The still pick machine is a wonderful, wonderful machine that you can use that helps. It puts a still pick on the end of stems or elements that you can stick into your wreaths. It is called a still pick machine, if that's what you're referring to, and I will show you how to use it here in just a minute. Still doing my 10 inches. We're making progress. The thing about Deco Mesh is Deco Mesh is a little easier to design with. However, putting it together is a little bit more time consuming, I have found. With Deco Mesh, you have to build your base first. Whereas with a grapevine or swags or evergreens, your base is already built and you can just start. Okay, we're getting there. Is everybody starting to make for the holidays? Have you started to think about it? Hey, Tina. Now is the time. When my kids were little, my husband was working. Of course, he still is working, but I was always so wrapped up in what they were doing, and the holidays would always come up on me very quickly. And over the years, I have figured out how not to be as stressful decorating and getting things ready for the holidays as it used to be. Who decorates in October for Christmas? I know a lot of people that do that. They are already decorating for the holidays in October. Okay, I think we're coming up on our last twist tie, and we are. And let me show you how I finish my Deco Mesh off. Okay, so I again am untwisting where my first loop was on my bottom ring right here. Okay, I'm going to put my loop in there, or my puff, I'm going to twist back. Okay, I'm going to come out about 5 inches. I'd say that's about 5 inches. And I am going to cut. Okay. I'm going to stick this through the middle ring. The middle, or one of the rings bars between the upper and lower level. Stick that through. Okay, here I am. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little bit more off. I always cut longer to stick it through just to make sure that I have enough room. And I am going to fold this over. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to lay it right here on this, and I'm going to finish it off with a twist tie. And that makes the back of my wreath very clean looking. And I'm just going to pop that off, and there you go. All right, this is what we've got so far. Okay. Now comes the time to put our ribbon in, and while I have you down here, I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Now I have a little teeny loose twist tie, and I am going to see if I can tighten this up. Sometimes these come a little loosey-goosey, and all you need to do is just take a needle nose plier and tighten it down. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to start on my ribbons, or my ribbon tails, and we're going to alternate. All right, we're going to do one combination, and then we're going to do the other combination. Now look, I'm using 4 ribbons, 2 2.5 inch, 2 2.5 inch, and 2 1.5 inches. Okay, I have cut them 13 inches long. All right, now this is where your creativity comes in. You could use 1 ribbon all the way around. You could use 2 ribbons all the way around. You could use 3 all the way around. You could use 4 all the way around. It doesn't matter. It's what you choose to do. There's no right or wrong way to do a deco mesh wreath, okay? You can cut your tails any length you want, starting at the 10-inch mark, all right? Personally, for me, I think any ribbon tails that you put into a deco mesh, the length that is 12 to 14 inches is a really good length. You're able to see the ribbon. You're able to have your ribbon tails stand up. I would not go any longer than 14 inches. And personally, I prefer to cut my tails 13 inches long. And if they need to be cut down, then I have a good inch to work with. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 2.5 inch. We're going to put the 1.5 inch on top of it. We're going to divide it. Okay, we're going to make sure that we have divided in half, and we're going to pinch. We're going to pinch that ribbon just like that. All right, I will say this ribbon right here, the red and green with white fur, is really thick. But what we're going to do is we're going to twist down. We're going to undo our ties. I'm going to stick it down in there. I'm going to twist back. Yeah. I'm going to twist back. I was thinking, wait a minute, Laurie Anne, do you need to put your sign in? And no, I don't put my sign in right now. I was just thinking to myself, we're going to make an X, okay? With our ribbon tails. See that right there? We have made an X. I've just pulled them out, and I've made sure that they are diagonal to each other. Okay? So we've done this pattern Now I'm going to switch to the next pattern. Make sure it's cut in half, or I have folded it in half. Come in here, undo it. Now you don't have to undo it. I like to untwist my ties and put my ribbon down in there. That way I know that they are secure and with the deco mesh, and that they will be the same length. Okay, that puff is going to help everything be about the same length. All right, now we're just going to alternate. Okay. Oh, Sweetie is getting ready to make her daughter and grandson a whimsical wreath. Well, that is going to be nice. I'm sure they will enjoy that. And Nancy starts decorating the first part of December. To me, that's a good goal. I think October for me, with all that I have going on, is a little too early, but to each his own. I have one of my childhood friends, and she has already said, Laurie Anne, will you come over here and help me? I've got to have this stuff up in October. I was like, girl, you know I will. Yes, I will help you. You kind of want your ribbon tails to stand up a little bit, okay? That's what's the beautiful thing about it. Now, let me tell you another little trick I do. Just show you real quick. All right, so I have a 2.5 inch tail right here. I don't put my 2.5 inch tails on top of each other. I put my 1.5 on top of my 2.5, if I can, if it works out right, because it helps show the tail that is underneath the 1.5 inch. If you layer 2.5 inch on top of 2.5 inch, that one that is underneath can get hidden pretty easy. So that's what I do when I'm trying to think about my design and how I'm designing it. See, I could have put this 2.5 inch on top of this one, but I didn't. I put my 1.5 inch. Can everybody see? Everybody see what I'm doing? Y'all let me know if I need to move things around a little bit. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to make sure y'all can see me. So has anybody designed with lime green and red before? Is that something you like or not a fan of it? And if you're not, that's fine. If you are, great. Lime green is always pretty popular. I have sold lime green for years. And it always seems to do very well. Oh, Nan. Well, thank you, honey. It is good to see you. It is good to see you. Good. Y'all can see me pretty good. Awesome. Awesome. I jumped ahead of myself on one of them and had to go back in. Okay, we've got the top layer done. Let's see, I'm going to pull that over there. There you go. That lays better that way. Sometimes you have to finagle these. All right, we've got the top layer done. We are halfway home. We're going to get the sign in, and then we're going to add some special stuff to kick it up a notch. You want to make sure, so in wreath designing or floral design, there's some elements and principles that you definitely want to stick to. It doesn't matter what you're designing on or what you're making. And one of them is your shape. You want to make sure that the shape of your wreath is even and it's pleasing to the eye, and that comes along with balance. We talked about that this week in Wreath of the Month Club, and I think those who weren't quite sure what was going on understood it a little bit better. We've got to keep the viewer's eye. We got to think about how they look at the design and where your eye goes. Hi, Pamela. Well, thank you, honey. I am glad to be here. And I'm glad you're here. Keep going. Let's keep going. Okay. We're on this one. This is going to be so fun. So personally for me, I love designing all kinds of different designs, but for me personally, I'm kind of like that jolly person when it comes to Christmas. And whimsical is one of my absolute favorites. I love a whimsical design. Of course, they're all beautiful. Traditional, non-traditional, floral. But I think it's the kid in me leans towards the whimsical. I did it the other night, but I can be designing a whimsical design and think that it's so fun, bust out laughing as I'm making it. And that's a lot of fun. Okay, just a little bit more to go. Now, when you're cutting your ribbon tails, if you've never done a deco mesh before, you want 9 cuts. Like I did mine 13 inches, so I cut each ribbon tail 13 inches long. And I did 9 of them. I cut 9 of them. Okay? Nine? Yes, Nancy, I just answered that, honey. Yes, it's 9. You cut 9 of this one, 9 of this one, 9 of this one, and 9 of this one. So they're 18 twist ties on a work wreath form, on a 15-inch work wreath form. So if I want half to be one combination of ribbon tails, and I want the other half to be the other combination, I'm going to cut 9 of each. Okay? You're welcome. Oh, Tina says whimsical is her favorite too. Yes. Yes. I did a elf leg swag in Wreath of the Month Club the other week, and I just, as I was teaching the girls how to do it and doing the tutorial, I just could not help but laugh. I mean, I just thought it was so cute. Someone's asking, do you ever make deco mesh wreaths without all the ribbon tails, maybe with just florals and a bow? Absolutely. Yes, ma'am, I do. Yes, ma'am, I do. And that is so much fun. Now, I will say the Deco Mesh, it's a Deco Mesh base for sure, but you do not have to do Deco Mesh with just ribbon tails. And I have made some, so many designs like that. Yes, I do that all the time. Okay. There we go. We've got our ribbon tails in. Now, if anything needs to be adjusted, we will adjust this when we get it up on the wreath stand or my board, but that's what we have so far. Okay? Fun and cute. Now, the last thing we need to do while we're down here is add the sign. Okay? So I am going to make sure that my ribbon tails and my mesh are where they need to be, which is out of the way. I want to make sure that I don't get any caught in there. And I am going to bring it in here. Now look, a lot of people, and it's understandable how it happens, but a lot of people have trouble with signs. And they have trouble with them sinking into their design. And part of the reason why it sinks down into your design is you're pulling your wire, you're pulling the sign down very tightly. And that's not necessary. Now look, you need to have it on your work wreath form base securely, but you don't have to pull it down very tightly. So one of the tricks that I do is I lay it on my table and I take my wire and I stick my wire through. If I have to go through the Deco Mesh, I do, but normally I don't. I come to where the tie is, where the twist tie is, and I stick it down next to the twist tie. Okay. I bring it off the edge of the table and I pull it down through. Okay. Now, what I do not do at this point is I do not twist it yet. Let me see if I can get y'all a little bit better so you can see. So this side is through. All right. I'm going to come up here, catty corner or diagonal, and I'm going to put this one in. And the reason why I do that is to make sure that it is balanced, it's straight, and it's in its place. It's in the place that I want it to be. If I did these two down at the bottom, the top might turn. And that's not what I want it to do. Now, some will say on a Deco Mesh, it really doesn't matter. On a Deco Mesh wreath like this, because you can turn it any way you want to when you put your twist tie on it, and that is very true. But for me, this is just how I ensure that it is in the right spot. Okay, so these two are wired. I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to stick my wire through here. And notice now I'm doing it beside each twist tie. I have found 4 twist ties that I can attach my wire to that are beside the twist ties. Okay, there's one. Here's the other. Let me get that over to the... I've got that little place that I zip tied some things down to. Okay, now that I have one corner and these two right here, I will twist this one out of my favorite whimsical wreath that you have made in Wreath of the Month Club. was the red spray painted grapevine with the 3 funky bows with all the goodies. Oh, you like that one? Yes, that's a fun one too. If y'all want me to make it in here one day, I will. I think I've done it. Well, I don't know if I've done it on YouTube for Julie yet or not. If you want me to make one, I will. Okay, so I've got these 2 securely down. Now I'm going to come to my 4th corner. Thank you, Tina. That's sweet of you to say, honey. It's amazing that you remember that. That seems like many moons ago. But I guess it wasn't too long ago, huh? I'm going to put my last wire down in here. Yeah, those are fun. I do those for Christmas and Halloween and 4th of July. They are a really good recipe for using up ribbon. It's Julie's recipe. All right, so now I'm twisting it. Okay. I think that would be great. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I will definitely keep that in mind. All right, there we go. Now, I have a very secure sign, and it is not sunken down into my wreath, okay? It is sitting on top. Now, I'm going to pull you up, and we are going to adjust things real quickly. Hey, y'all. How you doing? All right, let's put this up here. Okay, and I want to make sure that you can see it, which you can. Let me get a swig real quick, a sweet tea. I'm going to pull you in a little bit closer so you all can see what I'm doing. Okay, but there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to adjust. Now look, it's going to move for a minute because I don't have a hanger on it yet. I'm going to adjust my ribbon tails. They're going to get messed up again, but that's okay. I want to make sure I've got all my deco mesh up and where it needs to be. We're going to get this thing cleaned up a little bit. Get it looking good. A lot of people will hear Julie or me say you need to make sure your ribbon tails are standing up. And what that means is you want your tails up and facing forward. So the person who is looking at your wreath or viewing your wreath sees all your tails. So we want them standing up and facing forward. We want those things to show off. We want to make sure that all our tails can be seen by everyone. Now, there might be a couple that I need to have come in and cut or trim back, which is fine. But I need to see where my ribbon tails are basically going to be landing so I can design around that. But you see how you're just going in and you are straightening them up and you're having them stand at attention, so to speak, so they can be seen. I mean, you know, you invest in really pretty ribbon, you want to make sure that everybody can see what you're making your design with, right? Okay. There we go at this point. Let's see what that looks like. That looks pretty good for right now. I could play with ribbon tails all day. I don't know about you. But I definitely could. Now I got to get this little area over here. Right. All right. That's what we have so far. Anybody got any questions? Marcia, thank you so much. Marcia says, I'm new, but this is the 4th time I've watched you, and you are so kind and telling us everything. I love to watch you. You make beautiful things. Thank you so much, sweetie, for your kind words. I have to say that the reason why I do this is I just want to share the knowledge that I have, just like Julie wants to share the knowledge she has, and share it with others so they can enjoy and find joy in what they make as well. So I try my best to share everything that I possibly can as I'm making something for you. Okay? But thank you so much for your kind words. Okay. So, for those of you that make wreaths like this, you could stop here and this would be a very pretty, fun wreath. I'll pull you in just a little bit more and let you see it. See? Very fun and whimsical, very pretty. You can stop here. But we have a little bit more time, and I am going to add a couple of more elements to it. So one thing that I want to do is add some greenery. I want to add some greenery into this, and the reason why is I want to break up some of all of this color that I've got going on. So I have lime green, red, and white, and it is all over the place. And it is really cute. It's pretty. But I want to break the color up a little bit, and the thing about it is when you break your color up, it allows the color to pop more. Watch what I'm going to show you, okay? And that's what we want it to do. We want our colors to pop, especially off our doors. And by breaking the color up, that's what allows the color you want to accentuate pop more, okay? Now, for the lady who asked about the still pick, I'm going to show you real quick. Okay, so I have this element right here. I have this pine. And all I've done is I have gone in and I have cut each one of these off. And this is how it turns out, okay? If I took this and tried to stick it into there, it might stay and then it might not, okay? And a lot of times what people do is they'll either take a still pick and this little machine right here puts a still pick on it. See? I'll take a still pick, put a little bit of glue on it, and stick it down through the deco mesh, and it will allow it to stay, okay? You can use a still pick or a floral pick. The floral picks are the wooden picks that have a little teeny piece of wire on them. You take the element, you put the floral pick up against it, wrap the wire around it, wrap it down the element a little bit and then back up, and then you take floral tape and wrap around it. But that's what that machine does. Okay, so I am going to begin to add some pine. Okay, so what we do to one side, we're going to do to the other side. That helps with balance. I stuck that here, so what I'm going to come and do right here is I'm going to put some in here. Now, I'm not going to put steel picks on this because it will hold these elements. But the one thing about pine is when you're using hot glue, if hot glue hits these little pine needles, it's going to shrivel up. So what I do is I hold it like that when I'm sticking it into my hot glue to make sure that those little pine needles don't get glue all over them. Okay, what we're going to do up here, we're going to do down here. And I am coming in here and I'm gluing right there. Okay. Now, I have one right here, I've done here, but I am going to create a triangle. And triangles in design are really good ways that you can keep your balance going. So I have one here and one here. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to put one right here. Now I am putting these in the top ring. These are being glued to the top ring, and I am really gluing to the twist ties. Okay? There we go. Okay, you see how we've got some balance going on here? See how it's breaking the red and lime green and white up a little bit? And so what's happening is that darker color is pulling your eye in, and it's making this red and lime green colors pop a little bit more. They jump off. Okay, now we're going to start working on an outer ring. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to put one of these. Now, I'm also going to tell you this. I just remembered it. One of the ways that you can glue elements into Deco Mesh is you can take one twist tie and make a little circle, twist it down to where it's a little circle, and you can take your element and you could put it in that little circle and it holds it in there for you. Okay, there we go. Now, we've got one over here, but I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put one back here in the back. I'm going to make a little twist tie with my finger. I mean, not a twist tie, a little circle or round hole. I'm going to put some hot glue in and I'm going to stick that pine right through there. Okay. Now we're going to come over here on this side. Oh, well, thank you, Shirley. I'm glad you're joining us all the way from the UK. I'm going to come up here, make a little twist or loop or circle with my finger, and I'm going to stick that down in there. Okay, now I also need some right here. So I'm going to cut up one more. Doesn't take much. Okay. And I'm going to put some right up in under here. You could do a bow if you wanted to. Now, you see, let me pull you out. You see how the dark green pulls the red and lime green out a little bit more? I'm not finished. So that's what I've got so far. Okay. Now we're going to put some white fern glitter in. I might come back in and put some more pine in later. I've got my base for my elements in first, okay? All right, I'm going to take these and I'm just pulling these or cutting these apart. I'm so used to pulling things apart. When you pull things apart, it allows you to keep length to your stem. If I cut it, I might cut it too short. And so by pulling it apart, it's easier to, well, it helps you keep some more length on it. Of course, naturally, I'm going to come in and cut it apart, but I'm just in the habit of pulling it apart. Okay, we're going to come up here. Now, wherever I did not put my pine, okay, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put my white glitter. Can you see that up against that white board? Let's see. You might not be able to see it. So here's my pine. Here's my pine. I've come in the middle. I've come in between them, and that's where I'm going to put my white glitter. My white fern. Not white glitter. It's glittered. I'm going to come right here. I've got two right here. I'm going to come right here. This is where the glue strings get fun. I'm going to make a little twist, a little circular twist. Okay. Put some hot glue on it, and I'm going to stick it in that little hole area. There we go. Now I'm going to come behind this greenery, and I'm going to throw some glitter right down in here. I'm going to stick some right up in here. I'm going to make a little twist hole because this is at the very bottom. And I want to make sure that the hot glue attaches to the twist ties. The other thing that you can do is you can wrap the twist tie around your element, and it will help secure that in also. Okay. That is not where I wanted it. I think what I am going to do is I'm going to take this, no I'm not, I'm going to leave that like it is, and I'm going to redo this one. We're going to keep moving, and I'll figure that bottom out here in a minute. If you ever get to the point where you're stuck or you're unsure, just move on, and you can always come back. You'll see it differently. You'll be surprised how much different you'll see it in 10 minutes. Okay. Got that right there. I need some right here. Now, if you'll notice, I'm coming in between them, and I'm on the outer edge, okay? Not the outer edge, the outer loop, the outer ring. Okay, this one needs a still pick. Now, this is a perfect example of when I'm going to use a still pick. It is not going through, even with the twist tie. So I am going to take it and I am going to push it through the deco mesh. And sometimes you'll find that. But there's always a way around it. You can always work around something. Okay, I need some white glitter right here. And then we'll do the inner ring. It is bright and festive. I'm going to put a still pick on this. That's the only thing about having a white board that I design on. When I use white, sometimes it doesn't show up as clearly as it could. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to come in and do the inner ring, or the upper ring, and that requires cutting some of this down. This is too big to put in here, so I need to downsize it a little bit. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm just cutting. I'm cutting these smaller, okay? And it doesn't take much at all. All right, I'm going to come right in here, and I'm going to go in between these two, and I'm going to put it about right here. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to put some on top of here. Wait a minute, what we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. So I'm going to come right in here, and I'm going to throw some right here. Okay. I'm going to come right here and throw some right there. All you're doing is filling in. Now, what I did here, I did over here. What I did here, I'm going to do right here. When you do opposite of what you've done, like I said, it will help you create balance. It will give you balance. All right, and last but not least, I have these two right here and these two right here. Let me cut a little bit more down. Y'all let me know if you want me to make the grapevine, the funky bow grapevine wreath on here. I will certainly do that maybe next Tuesday. Those are a lot of fun too. Okay, I'm going to come right in here. I might put a little bit right there. Bend that a little bit. There we go. I'm going to put some right here. And I've got these two right here. Now, this is a fun, easy, simple recipe that you can do. Like I said, you can add a bow or bows if you want to. You can come in and put ornaments in here. The trick to wreath making is layers. And you'll hear me say that all the time. Just, it's layer after layer after layer. And, you know, each layer adds a different element, a different texture to your design. You're adding textures when you add layers. And that's what elevates your designs. Okay, so there we go. Now, do I need to put pine anywhere else? And yes, I do. What do y'all think? Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay, I will definitely do that. I need some pine right here. I've got a hole right here. So I'm going to put some pine right over here. It needs green, and it needs the dark green. Okay? I need a little bit of green right here. Okay. I want some green up front, but I don't want a whole lot of green. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit because this is way too thick. Okay. And I have come up with 2 pieces. So this is what I'm going to throw in on the front. Okay. Just going to get some greenery going in the front. That green just helps it pop so much. So today my goal was to get on here and show you how you can make a wreath. If you struggle with making bows, you don't have to put a bow on everything you do. Okay? And you can still make an absolutely beautiful wreath. All right? There we go. Let's see. Let me pull you out a little bit. I'm going to bring this close to you and let you see it. I never can hold this thing right on the camera. I've got glue string right there. And I've got to get them cleaned up. That's where your hair dryer comes in. See that right there? Very, very pretty wreath. Fun and whimsical. Now, let me tell you some options real quick. I could come in with these, and I could tuck these right here. I could add some ornaments right here. Sorry. Got you bouncing all around. I could put some ornaments right here. Bring some of these in, which add to it. These right here would be cute. You could put some of these in. See these right here? Any kind of ball picks would work. I have some fun, whimsical picks that you could bring in and add that in. Anything. You could even bring these little teeny ball picks in. And you could put this in here too. All right. But we're at a good stopping point, and I think we're done for right now. And like I said, I wanted to come in here and show you how you can make a really pretty whimsical holiday wreath. It's not necessary to do a bow. You could do a bow. You could do one bow right here with ribbon streamers. You could do a bow up here and a bow down here. You could do little bows throughout, however you'd like to do it, okay? And we might talk about that on a future tutorial. But I did want to show you real quickly how you can make a beautiful whimsical holiday wreath that you or a family member, a friend would enjoy, and it doesn't have to be difficult. We can always make beautiful things. They don't necessarily have to be completely over the top, and they come out absolutely adorable and cute, okay? I've had so much fun with you all this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're joining me late, again, I'm Laurie Anne, one of the coaches in Wreath of the Month Club for Southern Charm Wreaths. I did want to mention that Julie is going to be hosting a 4-day holiday arrangement masterclass next week. You still have time to join. There will be live tutorials done teaching you from, concept to completion, teaching you how to do it, as well as recordings of other tutorials she's done also. It's a lot of fun. In any of her master classes, we have a very good time. There will be kits offered, and each day Julie will go live twice a day on 2 different lives where she makes beautiful holiday arrangements and teaches us how to make them as well. So it's southerncharmwreaths.com holiday arrangement masterclass. If you Google that, you can certainly find it, okay? All right, guys, y'all have a great week. It is October and the weather is absolutely gorgeous right now. I hope y'all have a blessed evening. Please be blessed, and as always, be a blessing to somebody else. Y'all take care, and we will